Well, all right. Something I was thinking about with the Ukraine thing, and now what's consistently happening, that it's like, no, we're not dealing with the money for the border, and action on the border is going to happen, and the Ukraine money is going to be separated from money for Israel, and all these various things. And also, actually, there was an article that came up, some quote from a Ukrainian official, that 90% of the money goes to U.S. contractors. And he goes, no money goes directly to Ukraine, he was talking about. He said it goes to U.S. contractors who then set up the weapon shipments and the shipments of things like that. And only like 10% is actually going to Kiev, which was a very interesting statement. As an offhand, so in a way, I'm thinking they're trying to kind of slightly give away the game, or show like, we'll drop dime, and really that was, they actually, there's no way around that. They totally, now that I think about it, they did drop dime. They just basically told a bunch of people, this is what you need to look into. If you want to find where the Ukraine money is, then you need to look into these contractors, because it never left the United States. So beyond that, I was thinking how there's, that there's this end of the Republican Party that desperately wants to, deal with the, Ukraine, fight for Ukraine, fight Putin now instead of fighting him later, and all stuff. And so one of the things is those of us who are against fighting in Ukraine, getting involved in making NATO and Europe prove itself. One of the things about this is a lot of us, one, we're very aware of Russian propaganda. Like, we were the people that, we knew all the Russian propaganda outlets, Katahan Institute, RT, a variety of, was it Mia the Nationalist or whatever? But the thing that was interesting is that a lot of this is just something that you wouldn't know without this, is we also understood, okay, our aggression against Russia absolutely seems like the internationalist aggression against most of European nations, separating them, making them feel alone. They have a small, and then invading them with mostly Swarthis from Swarthy lands, and who then proceed to be rapacious. So with Russia, this is actually happening as well. And so one of the things that hit me was, I was like, well, they've got their own problems. The contiguous United States, I think, fits into Russia at present 4 times. That's a huge amount of land to fill in and to try to guard and maintain. And it's like, there's not really a reason for us to be aggressing them that much when they've got plenty to worry about. They've got all their own stuff to worry about. And on top of it, they're not really replacing themselves. So it's like, we should be, the whole thing that nationalists ended up, and the MAGA thing ended up really dealing with, the deep right ended up approaching this is, well, no, really, we're just being set against one another for this global world war, when we got way more simple problems to deal with. And that there's really no advantage to some global world war except for people that would make money off of something like that in some way. And constant military intervention and chaos. So that's the reason why MAGA, the MAGA right's the way it is. And I call it the deep right. The deep right understands the interests of various parties and then just tries to identify, well, who benefits and how do you identify whose interest this is and is it in my interest? Yeah. There we go.